Hi Pisces, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Pisces, this is your love reading starting today on the 22nd of March. And I asked for your love story for the very near future. Instead of setting an end date like I've done before, I've done the reading for 2 weeks. And I haven't done that reading for 2 weeks. It's a long reading. But I've done the reading and have been wanting the reading to the energy to last or be about for the upcoming 2 weeks. But I've shifted that because I think whenever you find this message, it's going to resonate if you find it. So putting an end date to it sort of messes that up a bit for some people. So we have gorgeous energy. First of all, when I do this, I started to incorporate the day when I'm doing it because I love numbers. I talk a lot with source through numbers, and so I figured since it's so much me, I'd just start to incorporate it in these readings. And today we have the number 22, which is a power number. 22 is all about manifestation. If 11, which is also a master number, if 11 is more about the dreams, the visions, the wishes, but sort of in a etheric way, sort of in a non-physical way. Number 22 is all about manifestation. Like now we bring it to life. Now we materialize it. Now we put it so that we can see it. And then with the year 2020, there's a heck of a lot of twos today. So it highly speaks about a manifestational period. Since I want to bring in this, the foundation for this reading is then number 2, mainly number 2. And number 2 also is all about communication, relationships. So it's perfect for this love reading. So I really hope that we see evidence of that in the love story. And so we'll just start to shuffle, guys. And if you don't like the shuffle, please fast forward. I'm waiting for just 3 cards or more to pop out. And I'm using this beautiful mystical wisdom deck. And don't ask, the program is reversing the cards, and I've decided to keep it that way for now. Long story short, it's just what's going on. Pisces, okay, cool. I'm gonna do an extended for you guys. It's the first time since I think maybe I did last week as well. I did, but it's the first time for your love reading. And so if this reading resonates with you, probably the extended will as well. And the extended is in the link in the description box down below. Let's just dive right into this. There's so much, like it is equinox right now. It's like, what is that in Swedish? Oh, I can't find the word. We have equinox, spring equinox, vårdagjämning. So that is happening around this time. We have the sun coming back into Aries. And why that is significant is because Aries is sort of the new year. Aries is all about starting over the zodiac signs. We're starting with Aries. That's the number, like that's the first sign out of all the 12 signs. Pisces being the last. And so that's being the wrapping up. We're wrapping up something. And we're now stepping into this new gorgeous energy. And we also have the new moon coming up on a, is that tomorrow already? 23rd, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But it's also around this time. So it's a lot of new energy, spring energy, if you're in the northern hemisphere at least. In the southern hemisphere, you're just going into fall, but it's like it's a new vibe for sure. That's what I feel. So, and as I said that on my time on the clock is this 11:44. Oh, how to interpret that? That is like, okay, so the dreams, like I just said, the dreams and the visions and the wishes and all of that happens for the number 11. And then you add 44. It's like we're not doing 22, we're not doing 33, we're doing 44. It's like, it's a bit, I want to say it's a bit overdoing it, but it's like the universe wants to show that, okay, guys, whatever's going on in your love situation, and it can be love for yourself, it can be love for, let's see what comes out here, love for your partner, whether you're in a committed relationship or whether you're single, it's like full on. There's something about being bold and going the extra mile, or doing something large. Let's see what that is about. So the first card out is Owl. Follow your intuition. And Pisces is all about the feelings and the intuition, and there's a lot of moon cycles here. So all the moons here in a row. So there is a new moon coming up, so it might be of significance for you what the new moon is about. And then the owl is all about, like, the wisest bird out there. The owl is having a new perspective. And so whether you're in a committed relationship or whether you're single, it's like you've taken on a new perspective on your relationship, on your wants for your relationship if you're single, and for how it is in your current relationship if you're in a committed relationship. Also, if you're separated from somebody, if you're just now sort of on a break or being separated from somebody that you sort of know in your heart that you want to come back with them, and you sort of know that you will, even you have taken a different approach to it. There's something that's being, I don't want to say reorganized, but like it's being put in a different light. And with all that is going on right now, it might have forced you to look at things in a different light. For some people, you get to spend more time with each other. For some people, you get to spend less time with each other, depending on what your work situation is. For some of you guys, it's like maybe you were supposed, if you're having I mean, if it's been really long distance, it might not matter to you. But if it messes up with getting to see each other because you're living further apart, and it's a bit tough. I feel like there's a different structure to things, depending a bit on what your like situation for love and romance is right now. Okay, but you're learning to have a different perspective. I feel like you're learning as you go right now. You're not as, I guess, frustrated as you were before. I don't know, it feels like you're taking a bit of a cooler approach to everything, which is really good, because that's the thing that's really gonna make a committed relationship even stronger. And if you're single, that's what's sort of bringing in your person. Okay, the next card out, even awesomer. It's you're standing on 3 fish and you're riding that fish. You're in super control, and the waves behind you, I feel like this, for some of you Pisces, you actually might have met somebody. You might have just met somebody. If you haven't, you're like hours away. This is a feeling, the energy that I pick up from this card is that you're backed up for the first time maybe ever. If you're in a committed relationship, and you might have felt like you're the only one who, I don't know, does things around the house. You're the only, if things are going to get done, you have to fix it, that type of thing. And Pisces being all wanting everybody to be happy. You want you to be happy. You want everybody else to be happy. But mainly you want everybody else to be happy. It's like I don't know what it is here, guys, but you've shifted something that has allowed for you to finally receive some backing up, some support, like you can start to rely on certain people, rely on your partner, rely on the people around you, which means that you've grown. And if you're single, Pisces, I feel like this is probably the first time. It's such a euphoric energy in this card. It's like you're not being consumed by this wave, and you're not being overwhelmed or drowned by this wave. Some might say that you're close to dying here because it's quite the storm, but you're enjoying it. It's like you're riding that fish and you're so content and you're so happy in those waves. Those waves are not consuming you whatsoever. And I feel like if you've met this person, you already sense that you're not going to be in it alone this time. It's like if you needed to sort everything out before, and it wasn't like they were maybe mean or anything like that. It's just that the feeling of if you're going to get something done, you have to do it. Or if you want to talk about something, Pisces, you're the one to talk. And And with the deeper, like you're the deeper sign also, so you sense everything. You sense everything that's going on the surface. You sense everything that goes on the deeper levels, maybe even to the degree where people themselves doesn't understand that that's what's going on with them, but you pick it up anyway. I feel like you're gonna start to walk into this relationship now where somebody's actually, whether they are a Pisces as well, or they carry the same ability to really tap into what's going on. And so it's like for the first time you can let go of the oars a bit. You can let go of the what do you call those in English? Tyglar. Rope. You let go of the what is that called? Tyglar on a horse that you hold. I don't know what that's called. Do I? Anyway, it feels like you can loosen the strings up a bit. You can loosen the control a bit. It's like somebody else is coming in to say, I got you. I got this. Like, I was planning to, I beat you to it. I already did that. Or like you go to put such a simple thing as going, this, I guess this is a bit further down the road, because I'm not judging anybody. Maybe you even moved in together after 2 days of seeing each other. But like, this is a bit further down the road, that maybe when you're living together, you go to put some washing, like some clothes in the washing machine, and it's already there. It's already taken care of. It's like it's the first time in a lifetime that has happened for you, either in a committed or like with your exes. Like you have to do it to get it done. I don't mean to have you sound like a martyr or like, I'm the one who has to do everything, because it's your nature. It's what you do. So I was going to say you don't complain about it, but you silently a tiny bit are a bit tired of being the one who has to clean up after everybody else. I'm going to be so frank here now, so cover up your ears if you're a bit sensitive. Sometimes they don't ask you to. Is that harsh? Sometimes they don't ask you to get involved. They don't ask you to clean up after them. You're actually doing it without them asking, because it's just who you are. Okay? But that's not the point here. The point here is that you're going to either see it in your committed relationship. You're going to start to see a shift that if you've been in a committed relationship and you've been the one who sort of has run the house, whether you're a woman or a man, you've run the house or you run the show, and all of a sudden they're just giving you support in a way that you probably haven't seen or allowed before. If you're single, I feel like this is you attracting a person that is more like, it's more balanced out. It's more of a, and I don't feel like it's just, I know I talk a whole lot about what feels to be practical chores, like dishes and washing and that, but I also mean like for emotional stuff. There could be somebody really carrying the load emotionally, like you have to carry the other person's, like you have to carry a conversation, you have to carry a mood, you have to carry, I hope you know what I mean. You probably know what I mean if this is you. Like if you're having a minor conflict or a minor argument about somebody, or just even organizing something that stirs things up within you emotionally, it's like you have to carry that as well. Again, not putting you in the victim mode or the I think you know what I mean. I don't have to go deeper into that. This is you now finally getting some help, finally evening that out, which means that you've shifted too. Like I said here, it's like you've taken a different approach to things. You're more laid back. You're not so in a hurry to jump in and fix things, even though people haven't asked you to. You're more like letting go that type of control. That could be for other places as well, work related stuff as well. But where I feel like you probably are, where it feels most soothing for you, and since it is a love reading, let's just stay there. Where it feels more soothing for you is like somebody all of a sudden comes in. You're single and you're meeting somebody, and maybe you felt like feel a bit off, or I feel like this is so brand new, or, you know, 1 month into the relationship, you're having sort of a, I don't know, a bit of an off day. You're so used to take care of that off day yourself, or being the one, if your partner is having an off day, being the one to address it. But here comes to a person and they're like, whether they are a woman or a man, they're like, are you okay? Like, should we talk about this? Like, how are you feeling? And it's almost like you want to break down and cry, because the very thing that you were a bit off about doesn't even matter anymore, because here comes a person who recognizes that, who where you feel, oh my God, I'm not going to do this alone anymore. I'm not going to walk. I almost get, I don't know what's happened to me. I'm so emotional these days, like for everything. I had a meltdown on Gemini. He wasn't pretty. But people commented and said, you're good, you're fine. But I really do. It feels like I'm so close to my emotions at all times. So when I do your readings, it's like I put myself outside of it. So there's no guard up. There's no nothing. If it's me, there's a guard up. It's like, I'm not going to talk about that. But if it's you and I feel into you guys, it's like I get emotional for everything. So just bear with me. Seems to be the nature of me lately. Not pregnant. Anyway. Yes. So it feels like all of a sudden here comes this person who will carry your burden, who will ask how you are, and actually will come with some advice. It's like they're not afraid to bring stuff up. Okay? It's gorgeous. And there's a huge moon there in the back. So there's something about the moon cycles and moon. I mean, Pisces, you're quite deep like the moon. And so it might just talk about these feelings and emotions, and that's why it's there. And then there's something about like healing everything. It's just a beautiful, like little healing story. Maybe not so sexy, but profound. Wait. So when I put the card down here, I saw something. It's like, oh my God. So this little thing, what feels little at first, where I say you shifted something, you shifted the perspective of something, you've calmed down, you're not taking on everybody else's stuff anymore, it is actually grand. That is not a little thing for you. You have to address it again, because it's like, it's not a little thing for you. It's everything for you, and it's going to shift your life. When you finally let go of those, whatever those are called, yeehaw, you will see a different side to your, if you're already committed, you will see a different side to them. And you will at first forget that. You will be like, where have you been all my life? Like, wait, couldn't you have supported me like this before? And it's not that. It's that you've grown. You've shifted something within you that will attract something completely different now. And so when I put the card down, what first just looked like a little peekaboo here with the sun or moon. I mean, there's rings around it, so it's probably more like a planet thing. But as I put the card down, it fell over it like this, and it sort of made a perfect match, even with the rings around it. So just like that, it just made a full moon there. And with the rings, it just completed the rings around it. Do you see that? It's gorgeous. And so it's like when you do this, when you've done this, when you completed this shift within yourself, this is what happens. You can just enjoy it. There's just a ride. And on the bottom it says go with the flow and let things happen. So it's like you're just enjoying yourself in your already committed relationship. I feel like there's just a natural thing that is going to come in. You're starting to like really not having to talk to each other about what's needed right now, but it's being like taken care of. It's being tended to. It's being nurtured without you having to do anything. And this is for you single Pisces. You've shifted something within yourself that is going to attract such a different partner. It's like before you attracted people And maybe you meet a new person, and you meet a new person, you meet a new person, but they sort of, yes, they have different names, they have different hair color, they live in different locations, blah, 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 but it's still the same person, still the same energy, because not that much has shifted within you, which means that you attract pretty much the same. It's like, oh, I'm here again. What is it with me in attracting those type of people? You don't have to find that out anymore because you shifted something. So you're attracting something brand new now. Having that said, there's something that has been healed. So I think that either you're in whether you're in a committed relationship or you're single or you're separated, it's the same thing. It's like recently, let's start with committed. Recently, you've been in some sort of minor conflict with your partner. It doesn't have to be major. It could have been just minor, but it stirs things up emotionally. Or you could have dealt with something at work and you come home and you were just sort of hoping that you could talk it out or talk it through, and your partner wasn't having any of it. So it's sort of, it might not be that the conflict sort of started with, that it was something around you guys. It could be something else, but it turns into you because it's not being shared, it's not being received, is what I feel. And so something has started that needed to start. It's like it was bound to happen. It was like almost like you wanted to attract it. Maybe not sitting around planning for it to happen. It's just that it feels now that because it happened and because you addressed it in such a different way than you usually do, and maybe your partner sort of were in on it because, and to solve it in a different way that you're not used to, there's been something that Raphael comes in that has been healed. Raphael is coming in with healing. We're healing stuff here. And in order to heal it, it sort of has to arise to the surface. It's sort of when we deal with it, it's sort of when it comes back and you actually have to look at it, where we actually get to heal it. Or otherwise it's sort of just, it's just lingering there. It's just, bubbling, and eventually it will come up. And so there's something that has been catapulted into your reality for you to take care of. And I feel like you're taking care of it. And for single Pisces, it's like you might have attracted a douchebag one more time, or you might have had a conversation with somebody. Maybe you're just, I'm not saying this is happening, I'm just using this as a metaphor so that you understand what I mean. Maybe you were even on an internet dating site, and I saw this thing, I can't remember what it was called. I was browsing through some series on Netflix trying to find something of value, and to be honest, not much to be found. But anyway, I found this where I think people were, it was actually called Dating Around. I think it was Dating Around. And it was so interesting, and I find it so fascinating with all these relationships things, how people interact and what's going on a deeper level, and what you can see on the surface, and how people are, it's so fascinating to me. And it was this girl and guy, and I think it was their first, I'm not allowed to have an analysis of this because I haven't really looked into it, but I think they were on their first date. And even on their first date, their night ended with they're just completely yelling at each other. Like for real, yelling out loud. And we're so happy to not ever see that person again. Like they've been arguing for like 10 years or something. It was so interesting to see how quick their insecurities were being triggered. Had nothing to do with the other person. They didn't even know their middle name, for crying out loud, and they sparked something in the other person. And I feel like something like this could have happened with you. Maybe not that you were to the point where you were screaming at somebody else, but I feel like you've attracted a situation. Maybe you are on like internet dating sites. Maybe you went on a blind date. Maybe you even started to date somebody. You actually knew who this person was, and you saw them for a couple of weeks. But like for a very, very short time it's like you attracted this person or situation only to find you didn't attract this person to marry this person. You attracted this person to now heal the very last bit. I'm not saying that you're a complete, not that there's more to work on, or not that there's like always more to evolve in and that stuff, but I feel for the majority of maybe your wounds from the past, maybe stuff that you've been trying to deal with, things that has like this has always been going on and I seem to never end it. It's like a reoccurring thing coming up in every relationship, and no more. It's like we're ending it here. It's and for you to have to be able to do that, it's like you attracted this person only to get pissed off 5 minutes in, or only to get pissed off 2 weeks in, because you realize like you're not putting up with their behavior, you're not putting up with not attracting anything better for yourself anymore. It's like, okay, I'm done. But in order to heal it, you needed to attract it. So don't be so hard on yourself if you felt like, for the love of God, can I not attract somebody that sort of respects me, that talks to me in a good way, that understands how to treat a man, that understands how to treat a woman, which is basically love. It's being kind, it's being respectful, you know, that type of stuff, Pisces. So I feel like, and even with separated people, it could have been a make or break situation here. I feel like it's sometimes committed relationships doesn't, you know, I don't address it at all. I think it's you and one other sign, and the rest has just been for singles. And for separated, I feel like it's for all three coming out: separated, single, and committed. And I feel for separated, it could have been a make or break thing here. It could have been that if you're separated and you had such high hopes for this person to come back, I feel like with this Raphael healing situation coming out, there's something that was needed to be addressed in order for you to be able to move forward with this person, or there was something that was needed to be addressed in order for you to completely have, you know, be able to let them go. And I feel like that has happened. If it hasn't happened yet, you're days away from it, and it's going to be such a relief for you, because I feel like, Pisces, if you've been separated and it's that on and off feeling, it's that you don't know whether you're going to get back together, or whether they want to, or whether you want to, or what's needing to be changed for you to want to even commit again, or, you know, and it's that roller coaster. It just, it's exhausting, but it's not a stable energy. It sort of puts you almost in a what do you call that in English? Is that the same? Manodepressiv, I would say in Swedish. Is it manic depression? Manic depression? It's like sometimes you feel so high and sometimes you're super low, and that could be in the same day. It could even be in the same morning, because something within this person sparks the very best, but something in this person sparks the very worst. So it's like a constant up and down, which is not fun to be in. So I feel like it's something has really made you decide, no, I'm just gonna let this go once and for all. Like, and it's such a relief to feel that. If it's such a relief, it's the right choice. Or it's some sort of conversation has come about, or is just about to come about, which will make you feel, okay, they get it. Like, I get it. I got an apology, or I apologized, or whatever's been going on for you, that balances the energy out, which also it's a relief thing where you feel, oh my God, I so want to be with this person. This is just what I needed to understand that it's a go. And I feel like you got it. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. I hope this helps and uplifts you. If you feel like you resonate with this story or these stories, you probably will resonate with the extended as well. So come there if you want to. If you don't want to, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back in a week. Take care, guys. Bye.